Hey everyone, it is me, MrSneakyy, and it is my first impressions on Pan as well as the guide on how to use it at the moment, so stay tuned for everything you need to know. Yes, it is me, MrSneakyy, with Pan. I know she's new, I haven't got her yet in the epic, guys, so here she is before you guys keep screaming, and all the epics will be back to complete full circle. So Pan, she is the latest commander in the game. She's an epic commander with fear, but we're going to do a separate video on fear. But Pan is an overall gathering and support commander. She's really good for the fact that she's another gathering commander. It gives you more access tools to gather really quick and level her up really quick as well, which is a really good asset. Her abilities though are the things that I'm going to just suggest are lackluster at the moment, and we'll see if it changes in the future. But she has a 400 skill healing factor on herself, as well as a 20% normal attack damage bonus, which is pretty cool to have as a secondary effect. 20% normal attack damage is a big buff to gain for a troop, as well as having this 400k effect. But again, this effect here is basically a AoE buff. As you can see, it grants the Legion Onslaught as well as the it targets the friendly lowest Legion. It's basically trying to pocket heal specifically the lowest healing unit, which might be good later down the line, but at the moment it's not really that great. On the sole reason, in my eyes, is it's just not enough healing. I would have personally preferred to see like 600 healing factor, and then provide the unit with maybe 10% healing received and like 10% defense or something in those regards, just because like you're splitting up that 20% into two buffs, which is relevant to the healing buff, and you can now target the lowest guy, give him some buffs, as well as hopefully heal him and sustain him up, right? But that's my opinion. I don't like this skill one at the moment. Maybe again in the future it might be really prominent, but not for me at the moment. Skill 2 is your standard wood gathering skill. I'm not going to go over that too much, just to throw that straight out there. Skill 3 is a really good one though. You get a 15% defense bonus plus a 10% skill damage taken reduction, which is really good. So these are two really key defensive stats. It's just again a shame her skill 1 kind of lets her down. The skill 4 is Pan's Legion has an 8% chance to remove a buff. This goes all up to 20%. This is a really good actual ability. 20% chance, so 1 in 5 every 5 seconds to remove a debuff effect when you're attacked is a really powerful effect, especially if you're going to be using like a mage pairing with this, which I'm going to go over. But when you go into her last skill is enhancing her first one, and this is when she does gain a little bit more popularity with me, but again, I just don't think it's enough. She does the exact same thing with a 400 healing factor to her ally with the lowest health, and grants them a 20% damage, normal attack damage buff for 5 seconds. But she also heals Pan's Legion now for 200. So you get half the healing factor to yourself. So you heal them and yourself. The thing is, again, I just think these are too low of a numbers to be too impactful. And I really wish Pan was actually just a little bit more pushed, just because then she'd have a really good role to fit with a couple of commanders, which I'm going to go over now. So one which I really do actually like with Pan, surprisingly, is Alwyn, because Alwyn is an epic commander you're all going to have access to. And the thing is, with Alwyn, if you're going to run him, you can run him with the talent tree and control, and you can target enemies by debuffing them, and by debuffing them you can apply the healing and buffing factor through Pan to those targets that your allies are surrounding, basically. So you're going to help the surrounded allies, and you're going to be killing them quicker, right? So I do enjoy that combo. It's a really cool combo to consider as a supportive march. Another, and I think more exceptional one, and this is a Indis Pan combo. Again, as you can see, Pan's going to be the secondary. I just don't think she's ever going to be the main culprit, just because, again, Indis has the same tree, so you might as well use her over having Pan. And the thing is, with Indis, she does the same thing. She creates like an AoE effect that does increase healing. Well, she gives a healing factor plus taking damage. bonus and stuff. She does loads of debuffs and buffs effect, basically, plus a load of buffs to herself, which is really good when you want to make a support match stay alive, which I think this is the whole premise, is to have these two together, which obviously is what everyone would expect, having two supports slammed together with big AoEs and healing. So we'll see how these two guys pan out. I hope you guys enjoyed that little pun. So we'll go into a talent page. I'm going to briefly go over a talent page. At the moment, if you're going to be using her, this is the way I actually ran her. It's going to sound weird, but I've run her this way on purpose just to see how fast you can test and do this. So since Pan's launch, all I've used her is for gathering. And from gathering, I've leveled her up to, as you can see, what is it, 35, which is really fast for the amount of rate she's leveled from just literally farming with only this Earth's Grace and this Earth's Grace. And by doing so, I just put a couple points into the march speed. Just obviously I was going down the march speed route, but then it got me thinking, how much quicker does it get me to here? And it actually sped up how fast I was getting up to these key talents here. And again, if I reset and put 5-8 points, that would put me up to here. So you could maybe use them to abuse the gathering tree, you know, to get to the support and overall tree. But for me, I'm using her as a gatherer. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be using her as a gatherer. So you're going to go down the gathering tree. I don't want to go too much in depth in the gathering tree. I've got gathering guides on that and the blue commanders. But if you're wondering, you always want to go for the either windfall. I don't like having lay of the land. Lay of the land's just a bit too slow for me. But windfall allows you to get extra resources from completing points. You also want to, for me, get quick harvest, increasing the gathering speeds better by reducing the load by 10%, just because you're going to get a 25% load cap here, so it doesn't really matter by losing 10%, and that's like the gathering side. But if we zoom out and switch talent pages to someone like Elena has the same tree. She has overall support, but instead of gathering, she has peacekeeping. So when you look at hers, I would build Pan the exact same way, which is funny enough. It allows you to be very tanky, it allows you to pump out a lot of your AoE heals with the energy rage. It also allows you, when you do get healed, to deal damage to enemies, as well as to remove additional debuff effects from you, so you're very on the field, you're very sticky, and you want to be able to survive as long as possible. One thing you could do is switch this talent here, because this talent is about shielding, and obviously she doesn't shield. We will be choosing all conquering, and as you're going to see on my talent page, hopefully without embarrassing myself, I've gone for the same, or overall defense. I'm testing to see the difference, but for me, I would pick all conquering. All defense is okay, it's just what I'm testing at the moment, so I wouldn't hold my word onto it. But then you go for force field, increase the amount of HP you go up, and then again, you want any type of debuff effect when you receive healing. It's just amazing, and then you gain 2 rage effects plus health. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't want to go I know it's a bit of a, I say, brief one for Pan. I don't want to hate on her. I kind of do love her design. I think her model is great. I like the kind of abilities she has. I think it's a really good, cool ability. Should you focus her? Definitely not. Should you invest everything you can into her? Definitely not. Is she a really good gatherer? Definitely she is. Does she have potentially a place in the future? I believe so. Maybe with some love. Maybe if it just increase a couple of numbers, or maybe change this ability, it would be really cool to see. But for me, that is everything you're going to need to know about Pan. She's almost at the moment a gathering commander, nothing else, nothing too crazy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash a like, comment and subscribe, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next hero guide video. Peace out.